What's up, crew? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's your chemistry with Jimmy? We're seeing you guys connect a lot this camp.
Yeah.
Just how is it different maybe than last season or last summer?
Well, Jimmy looks great. He's explosive, making all the plays. He's such a great receiver, such a great player, and he can do it all. So he's an all-pro, tight end, and he can make a lot of plays for us. So we need him, and we worked a lot this offseason together and had some really good quality time together and everything else. And I think also too we've really played together now, And last year we had a really good season in terms of me and him and everything else. But I think also, Jimmy's really healthy right now. Last year, he was coming off the injury in training camp and that whole spring. So we didn't get as much practice. I mean, we were able to throw a little bit and catch and stand there and everything else. But this offseason, we were able to train a lot. So he looks really good. He's super excited about having a great year. And so he's an exciting player, that's for sure.
You had that really going with the chemistry with the receiver. What did this help tell?
I have to keep it simple. When you throw it to them, they catch it. That's usually the telltale sign, I think, more than anything else. I think a lot of guys are just in sync right now. We've worked, several of these guys I've worked with a bunch, from Doug Baldwin to Paul Richardson to Tyler Lockett. Obviously Jermaine Kearse too. Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson. We've worked a bunch together, and so I think that really helps.
How have you, the touchdown to Jermaine the other day in the mock game, how have you seen him? Is he any different this camp than he has been in the past?
Well, he's always been really clutch for us, and Jermaine's always been really super consistent too as well. Last year, I think Jermaine's standards in his head and everybody else's in his head, I think, are super high, and he believes in himself. Last year, he felt like he didn't have as great as a season as he normally has. And he's always been super, super talented, can do everything for us, from blocking to catching to make the big-time catch to getting open one-on-one. So he's a special player. And Jermaine's really shown that this training camp of who he is and who we believe he is and everything else. And he had a tremendous offseason to be able to work with him. And his work ethic has always been super high. And he's even, risen that standard even more. And so that's exciting, and he's definitely a leader on a football team. Yeah, I mean, when Thomas first started playing his first year, when Marshawn was a little dinged up, and obviously Thomas stepped in, Thomas, took over, and he was a guy that could play, get all the runs, catch the ball really well, was explosive, can make people miss, and he showed that his first year. The second year, obviously, dealing with the injuries and everything else. So now he's back, and he's really clear on what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. So to have a guy like that in the backfield, right next to me is super exciting. To watch a guy like Eddie Lacy too. Eddie Lacy is a big-time football player who has played at a high level for several years now and has shown that. And so to have him out here and his experience too, and so many other guys, I'm excited to start the preseason to see. Obviously it's a high-level competition spot. Right now, but that's a good thing. We want to have a lot of great players, and we want to have great players in every position, and we definitely have that in the running back position.
What about Pro-Size?
Yeah, Pro-Size looks spectacular. I mean, he can do it all. So, even him, he was dealing with some injuries, his first start of his career, and now he's back out there. You saw what he could do in the New England game, from running the ball to catching into the Eagles game where he took that one, I think it was, 65 yards, 70 yards, however long it was, to the house. I mean, he can do it all. So CJ Pro-Size is going to definitely be a threat for us too as well.
What did added reps do for you the last few days, and how did that come about?
I'm just big into getting into a rhythm, I think more than anything else, and playing the game, practice. I try to play practice just like a game, the timing, the getting the momentum, and making the key throws and the clutch throws and everything else. And so we've been able to do that. I think it's not necessarily me, it's the receivers and tight ends making great plays. I mean, the offensive line looks tremendous too. They've been giving me some really good time. I think you guys saw some of that yesterday and in the past few days too. And they give me that time. Those guys with the receivers and the tight ends and the running backs that we have, they make it a little bit easier on me for sure. And that's the fun part.
Did you ask? What do you make of J.D. and the way he's kind of moved into a receiver role, and what he can do in both running back and receiver roles for you guys?
JD's been special. I think his work ethic, first of all, it starts with that. And I think that, with JD, he's super fast, super talented, can catch the ball really well, runs the ball really hard too. Is quick, he's explosive, and I think he'll be a good addition, obviously to our football team, and we're excited to see him play, obviously this preseason, and see what he can do.
Did you ask Pete to give you a few more reps, or?
No, I always want more reps, but I didn't ask him. No, I think he just, I think also we got to see, with Austin and Trayvon too, seeing those guys play, it's a good thing. It was really, he actually came up to me and just told me, hey, I'm going to give you some more reps and everything else. And I said, all right, I'm always ready.
Do you have an appreciation for what Swoops is trying to do, being a big-time college quarterback?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the quarterback room yesterday or 2 days. This day is all kind of mixed together now. I think it was 2 days ago we were talking about this. But to go from, playing quarterback to receiver, that's a big deal. I don't think people athletically understand, receiver meaning tight end. I don't think people really understand how difficult that is athletically. Quarterback is an extremely tough position, obviously physically, mentally, and everything else. But to go play tight end, block these defensive ends that we have, and try to do what he's doing, and also go down the field, make catches, and spin his body and make these unbelievable catches. The ball he caught over here in the corner of the end zone, that Trayvon threw a nice throw to him, and he caught a great catch. That's true talent, and Swoops definitely has that.
Was it scary seeing Doug go down the way he did today?
Yeah, it's always whenever you see your teammate go down, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm sure he'll be okay. I'm gonna go check on him inside, but I'm sure he's fine. He's tough as it gets, so Doug will be back for sure.
Playing big-time college football and then in the NFL, is it going to be weird playing in a 30,000 seat stadium for him?
I would play football on the concrete if I could. I don't care where we play it. So as long as there's some white lines and tell me what's the first down, what's the end zone, I'm good. But obviously, I've actually trained there. At what do they call it now? StubHub. It used to be the Home Depot Center, right? I used to train there all the time. It's exciting. Yeah.
Last few days, you've seen DeAndre Elliott, Shaquille Griffin, and starting secondary. Have you seen anything particular out of those two guys?
Well, those guys looked really good. DeAndre Elliott has been spectacular for us since last year. He's really kind of stepped into a role where he's been trying to work to, compete at the highest level. I think he's doing a great job of that. Obviously, we have a guy in Jeremy Lane that's tremendous too as well. So that's a good thing. You want rotation and guys to be able to play and know what they're doing out there. And DeAndre definitely knows what he's doing. Obviously, Jeremy does too as well. And so, and then Griffin, he looks really good on the outside right now. He's making plays. He's super fast out there. He's getting his hands to the football, knocking it out, and trying to make plays on the ball. So, so he's doing a lot of great things, and he's really understanding the game. He's kind of one of those silent assassins. He doesn't talk much. He just plays football and does it the right way. And so it's cool. And he has a great mentor on the other side in terms of Richard Sherman to look up to and discuss and gain knowledge from and understanding of the game and what teams are going to try to do and that one-on-one matchup and everything else.
How do you approach a preseason game with regards to what you specifically want to do?
Me personally? Yeah, for me, every time I step on the field is just execute one play at a time, and try to do it at a super high level, and be super efficient, have great tempo, have great execution. From an offensive perspective, be explosive. We want to be explosive, and we don't want to have any penalties. We want to stay on schedule. I think really simplifying the game, not trying to, not because it's a preseason game. Simplifying the game meaning get the ball out, understanding where you're going with it. Capitalize on big opportunities when it's there. Not trying to do too much, just play great football. Every time I get to go on the football field, I get excited. So I'm super passionate about the game. I love what I get to do every day. To practice and play with the teammates that we have and everything else. It's a great thing.
Shaq Griffin was able to jump a pass and pick you off yesterday at least once.
Yeah, you didn't have to remind me.
What is it about his skill set that would make it difficult for a quarterback team?
Well, he's super quick. He's very instinctive. He's got great feet. He's got great hands. He had a great instinctual play yesterday. So we need that. We need somebody to step up and play that role. I think he's looking forward to that opportunity. And he's got a tough challenge, obviously, going into this first game, preseason game. And Philip Rivers is corner. I'm not sure if he's playing or not, but you got some talent over there on that side, and it's not going to get any easier as the road goes on. But he's up for the challenge, and so we're excited. I mean, he's not going to face too many better receivers than the guys we have and the tight ends and everything else. And he's got, like I said, he's got a great mentor in Richard Sherman in the sense of being able to teach him, and show him, and every day he gets to watch film of Richard Sherman, arguably the best corner in the league. So that's good knowledge that he gets.
Can you see his speed when you play against him?
He runs so fast you don't see it. He's pretty fast. I'm not sure what he runs. He runs low 4.3, right? Something like that. So he's extremely fast. He can go up and down the field. He can do it all.
You touched on it, but can you elaborate a little bit more on the offensive line and the competition you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really interesting. We're finding some consistency, it seems like, up front in terms of who's playing where and everything else. The good thing is, though, we have guys that can fill those spaces, and I'm not sure what it's going to be. Honestly, we have to wait to get to the games. The good thing is we get to block some of the best defensive linemen in the National Football League every day. And I think Luke Jokel's doing a tremendous job. He's really strong. He's quick. He knows what he's doing. He's played line for his whole life. Top 5 or whatever pick he was in the first round. He understands the game really well. I think George Fant has really stepped up in terms of really stepping up into that role. He's looking forward to it. He had a little bump in the road the other day, but I think more than anything else, he's a guy that's super competitive, and you gotta love that in an offensive lineman. I trust George to do his job every single time he steps on the field, and he looks forward to it, and he's going to do it, and so he's doing a great job for us. Obviously, Justin Britt is doing phenomenal. I can go on and on about him. You guys know what he's doing. I think about Glowinski. Glowinski's doing a great job too as well, competing for that right guard position. O'Day Abushi's doing a really good job too as well. So I think more than anything else in terms of that whole front, I don't know what it's going to look like, those first 5. That's obviously Coach Cable's decision and everything else, but I think that the time that we've been getting in practice has really shown up, and that's why we're making all these key plays, and guys have been making some ridiculous catches and everything else because we have time to throw it, and they've taken on that challenge, and it's been exciting.
So what have you seen from Chris Carson as a rookie? What have you seen?
Well, it's always exciting to get to the game, but I think Chris Carson's running the ball really hard, and he's running really fast. He's very instinctive, and he's making great cuts. He's not second-guessing. And he's got great hands, too. I don't think people were expecting he had as good as hands as he does. And so it's fun to play with him and watch him as a rookie, and he's a true professional. He comes to work every day with a great mindset, an elite mindset, and he's a true competitor, too.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.